Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch and this is episode number 119, and this week we're over at Universal Orlando Resort for my last visit doing photo finds. So I wanted to do something a little different, obviously just get some new pictures of some new stuff, which we'll see here in the very beginning, but also I love this park, especially at night, so I got some pretty decent nighttime photos with a new phone I was experimenting with. So let's take a look. So starting off in the hub over here at the parking structures, before you get into CityWalk, of course you have to go through security measures and get bags checked and go through the metal detectors. Now this is something all the parks have been doing now over the past year and have implemented stricter security measures. But really Universal does stand out, and I hear this time and time again from different visitors that come to all the parks during their stay in Orlando, that Universal really does do a great job, and just they use all kinds of different measures that other parks don't use when it comes to making sure that guests are safe. So this is really a nice setup here. They did a great job in the hub. If you guys have not been here recently, they've added fans so there's more air circulation, so when this is full of guests during peak season, it's not as hot as usual, and they've added lots of fans, personal fans for the team members, for the security team members, and they have all kinds of great x-ray machines for bags. They don't go through each individual bag like Disney and SeaWorld does, and they do use some really good metal detectors for guests to walk through, and of course security is highly trained in it, so they do a great job. But over here, we're not here just to talk about that, but behind where we're facing right now is this. This is a brand new, this opened up just last week. This is a new food option over here that you can get right before you go into CityWalk, and this is called Universal's Fresh Eats, and it kind of ties in with the new overall theme and feel and the design of CityWalk, all the other like quick service locations and some even merchandise locations that they have around CityWalk now. And they serve Starbucks coffee. It's not a Starbucks location, but they do have Starbucks branded coffees and smoothies, and it's really nice. It is going to be right there in the hub, so if it's raining, you can still stand in line here and you are covered, so you will not have to worry about getting wet. And let's take a look here at the menu. So it's lots of fresh, really good looking sandwiches, and I'll show you, they actually had samples. So you can see here, I mean, it's decently priced. You can get like ham and turkey, Swiss sandwiches and things like that, and specialty breads. But if you'll notice that next to the price here, which again, the price is decent, considering they're pretty big sandwiches, they are on the dining plan. So if you have the Universal quick service dining plan, or even the full service, if you're staying on site, you can go ahead and receive a sandwich or get a sandwich as one of your options. Now, I did not ask the team members, I wish I did, but I'm not sure if I'm sure the sandwich probably counts as a meal and not a snack, but you never know. You never know. It doesn't say here what is included with it, but I'm sure it probably comes with chips and even maybe a drink, but that would be probably a combo and be one of your meals, not a snack option on the dining plan. Looking over here at the drinks, as you can see, they do have the cold brew coffee from Starbucks, and of course hot teas and hot coffee, hot chocolate, and different smoothies. And of course you have some vitamin water, which is good to have when you're going into the parks. You should try to stay away from sodas a lot when you're in the parks, just because it doesn't hydrate you at all. But again, these beverages are part of the dining plan, at least the coffees and hot chocolates and teas. But you'll notice the cold brew coffee is not part of the Universal dining plan. But I wonder if those coffee, I'm sure they count as a beverage. I know some of the Starbucks drinks inside the park, they actually do offer or take the dining plan, but they do count their drink beverages as a snack item and not an actual beverage. Same thing with butterbeer over in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now looking here at the, and there's kind of a glare, so I apologize about that. I tried every which way to get the glare away, but you can see they have giant sized cookies, some delicious muffins, and I've had those before a lot working in the parks. And then they also have just different other, baked goods. Now looking at the sandwiches here, you can see that they are a decent sized sandwich. They're pretty big. They kind of remind me of the ones that you can see, or get, I should say, inside the Universal Park. They have the Boulangerie. They also have the Crescent Moon over at the Crescent Moon Bakery over at Islands of Adventure, and there's also another sandwich place over in the San Francisco area in Universal Studios. So similar sandwiches here, good size, so I think, you get your money's worth, and then fresh fruit if any of you are looking to eat something healthy. Now, walking through CityWalk and over here to the archways at Universal Studios Florida, you can see to the right here, I didn't get a full picture of the whole archway because I want to see what we're looking at is to the right hand side. Now, some of you have stayed on site, I'm sure, and some of you probably have not. But if you stay at the on-site hotels such as Hard Rock and Portofino Bay, you can easily walk to the entrance of Universal Studios and of course CityWalk and Islands of Adventure. Universal is the closest park. They have recently, over the past 6 months, built a permanent security structure here because this goes along back to the advanced security precautions that all the parks are taking now. You cannot walk into CityWalk. There's no way to get in there now unless you go through security measures. There used to be a guest drop-off area over here to the right, and this is where guests from Hard Rock and Portofino can walk into CityWalk, but they have to go through security as well. So this is a permanent security structure. This was added, I want to say about probably 3 months ago, but just this past week, they added permanent signs here above the metal detectors and above where guests walk through to keep guests in the know of where they're going. And on the other side, I didn't get a picture of it, but on the other side, they do have all the rules and policies for behavior and such, and what you can bring in and what you can't bring into the park. They do have that on the signs above the metal detectors on the other side. So this is viewing if you're leaving the parks going to Hard Rock, but it is something that it's definitely is nicer than having a temporary looking A-frame out there. So now there's something more permanent, but that is they did a great job. As you can see, I love how they themed this to kind of like the Spanish theme that the front of the park has, as well as the Hard Rock Spanish architecture, I should say, that the front of the park has and that Hard Rock Hotel has. So it all comes together and is themed very well. Let's go into the park though. So going into the park over on Delancey Street in the streets of New York, you can see, I mean, this has been a hot summer, and especially these past 2 weeks, it has been so hot. It's been over 100 degrees pretty much every day here in Orlando, and they are helping guests cool down without having to go onto water attractions. And remember, Universal Studios Florida doesn't have the water rides, it's Islands of Adventure. So guests can go ahead, and they have been opening up and letting water come out of the fire hydrants. So guests have been running up and enjoying this and using it to get cooled off. I didn't get any pictures of anyone using it, just for, for some privacy, but I got a picture here of the actual faucet here going off, or fire hydrant, I should say, going off with lots of water. And we are not, and it's not like California, we don't have a drought, so this is not being as wasteful as it would be if you were in California right now. Now, let's take a look here. This is one of my favorite shots. So this is taken right before the park opens, or right at park opening, I should say, and ran over here. This is my favorite time in the morning to be in the parks, and my favorite time is also at night. It's really hard to choose one of the two, I should say. So I love it in the morning because it's just, you can really hear all the sights and sounds of the details of all the theme parks. And at nighttime, it's just really, it's a whole new experience because of the neon lights and just all the different lighting. And if the park clears out and you're one of the last in the park, you still get to experience all those, sounds and things like that you just really wouldn't hear when the park is full of people. I've talked about before. So this is a daytime shot, early morning shot here on Hollywood Boulevard in Universal, and this is that same street at nighttime. You can just see how different it is, and I love it. I love the parks. This park and Disney's Hollywood Studios are my two favorite parks at night. It really is a different feel in the evening with all the different neon lights and such. So it's just great. So Schwab's Pharmacy, we have the Universal Radio Broadcast Center, there's the Studio Style store, and then on the other side we have Max Factor. We have other facades here, the Beverly Wilshire, and it's really beautiful. So I love these parks at night, and I try to stay in after the parks close. Well, when the park closes, I try to be one of the last guests out. That way you're not stuck in traffic, everyone's leaving at the same time, and you can just really enjoy the atmosphere. It's really great. And one of my favorite areas of this park at night is the Pantages Theater. All the colors of this neon, it's so classic, and it's really a beautiful building day and night, and I really love it so much. Over here at T2 3D is one of my favorite shows in the park. Not my favorite is Universal's Horror Makeup Show, but this one is definitely my second favorite, and it's again, Beverly Hills sign lit up every night. It's so great, I love it. And then outside, we go back to the archway that we saw during the day, and this is a better shot of it though, and this is at night. I love the purple lighting, the neon lights that you can't see directly. They're covered up, but they just have this glow to it, and the logo looks fantastic. It's it's really, it's just a great park at night. And going through CityWalk. CityWalk, like I said earlier, it's gone through a change. It's been redone over the past few years, and they've added the Grill and Brew. This is something coming to the end. This is my second to last episode of Photo Finds hosting, and I covered the construction of this restaurant, the NBC Sports Grill and Brew, a lot in the very beginning of me doing Photo Finds. So I was here a lot, so it's really fitting to be able to talk about this on my last Photo Finds at Universal Studios. So this was, this is really cool. These screens are huge, and they really just are high quality. And it's neat because during like the Olympics, they had stadium seating set up out there in front of the lake, so guests could sit there and watch the Olympics. That's of course hosted by NBC. They could watch it on these jumbotron screens. I'm sure they'll do that again in the coming years. That's really nice. Over here, right past that, I love these lights at night here. This is just something, they change colors and they do little, not really shows, but they do little designs and just different lighting effects with these. It's really great, and they've done a great job with CityWalk updating this, and it's just a beautiful area. A lot of fun stuff to do at night now. Lots of great food options and shopping, and if you're an adult, if you're coming without the kids, go to CityWalk nightclubs. They have 6 of them, so it's great. Lots of entertainment. Walking out of the park though, last night we saw, it was crazy. It has been so busy. We are still in peak season here in Orlando. The parks are still crazy busy, and do recommend waiting until next month when it's cooler and less crowded if you are wanting to come to the parks in Orlando. But you can see it was very crowded. And I love this. I haven't shown you guys this before. This was recently added, of course, since Volcano Bay has opened, but they have some advertisements here for the 3 parks. More epic than ever, and it is can't really get with the lighting. Again, I was trying to just play around with my phone, but I couldn't get a very good shot of the center picture there. But they have new artwork for marketing that shows off all 3 parks, and it looks really great with the different iconic attractions from each park. So it's on their website though, so you can go to universalorlando.com to see that though, but it's really nice. And this is from the parking structure over from the Dr. Seuss one, and you can see here Islands of Adventure, the Hulk green to your left, the Lighthouse, CityWalk, and then you can see the rocket over to the right. So very cool. And then one last picture here from Universal Orlando Resort from Photo Finds from myself. This is something I took one morning, one really early morning. This was like at 6 a.m. The moon was full, it was still up, and you can see the rocket there. This is right outside Celebrity Circle, and this was an area that back in the day when the park first opened, major celebrities would be dropped off here and walked through these private gates. These gates are still used though. Private groups and private parties, like buses will get dropped off here, or their groups will be dropped off via buses. And this is still a place you can visit. Nothing really going on over here, but in the morning, it makes for some great photos with the moon and the Hollywood Rip Ride rocket. But that will do it, you guys, for this week's edition of Photo Finds, episode 119. Next week will be my final episode hosting Photo Finds, so make sure you tune in next Tuesday. And I don't know exactly what I want to do just yet. I'm thinking maybe doing Electric Ocean, because that's brand new for this year. It was extended at SeaWorld. Haven't covered it yet for you guys. I haven't really been myself, and I really want to go. So I might do that, but I might do something different, something maybe a little bit more special, because it will be my final episode doing Photo Finds. But yes, so make sure you guys tune in next week, and I will see you then. Until then, make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine, and make sure you get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.